So normally I don't actively seek these people out, but in my recommendations I saw, I think from Nerdrotic Daily, his other channel, was still flipping out over Nico Parker's casting as Astrid, and it's not just Nerdrotic; it's Bounding into Comics. It's all those guys that are still flipping out over the race swapping of Astrid. And I will say this to their credit, they do have a point with regards to the race swapping, like looking very obvious. Like it's very obviously done just to generate headlines and potentially get more money down the road. Is probably the only reason that they're criticizing the race swapping of Astrid, and that I'll give them. But here's the problem that I have with them solely focusing on just the race swapping. They're completely ignoring the fact that this How to Train Your Dragon live action remake is still a pointless live action remake of an animated movie, irregardless of the race swapping of Astrid. And you have live action remakes are now failing across the board for this very reason, because they're all fucking pointless. What was the point of going back and doing a live action remake of Aladdin? It was just done to make $1 billion, and that was it. What was the fucking point to the Lion King live action, the Lion King quote unquote live action remake, when it was just like 100% CGI? Okay, there was nothing live action about the Lion King remake from 2019. Instead of it being hand-drawn 2D animation, it's now all done in very, very expensive CGI animation. But still, what was the point of the Lion King live action remake? To make $1 billion. And we're forgetting that these live action remakes were failing Disney so much that Lady and the Tramp, that was originally scheduled to come out in theaters, I believe in 2021, was just thrown up right onto Disney Plus as a Disney Plus exclusive. And it wasn't the same thing like Black Widow or Raya and the Last Dragon, where you had to pay like an extra $30 to see it. No, they just threw it up on Disney Plus for any subscriber to see. They also did the same thing with Pinocchio that starred Tom Hanks as Geppetto. So you have a pointless live action remake of an animated movie, and if you compare it back to the trailer, it's showing itself to be almost a shot-for-shot remake of the 2010 original animated movie. So now it's even more pointless than the Disney live action remakes of Aladdin, Lion King, Pinocchio, Cinderella, etc., etc., because at least the live action remake of Aladdin wasn't just a straight up shot for shot remake of the 90s animated movie. No, How to Train Your Dragon, and again, I'm going based on the trailer. The movie has not come out yet, but based solely on the trailer, it looks to be a shot-for-shot remake akin to Gus Van Sant's remake of the movie Psycho that came out in 1998. And I guarantee you, most of you listening to this have completely forgotten that there was even a remake of Psycho that came out in 1998. It starred Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates. Do you know what the only difference between the 1960 classic and the 1998 remake are? The 1998 remake of Psycho is in color. The 1960 film is in black and white. And that is where all the differences end. Yes, the 1998 Psycho remake was effectively just a shot-for-shot remake, and I guarantee you, none of you remembered it because that movie has all but disappeared into the ether in terms of pop culture, but typically movie pundits bring it up of, oh yeah, look at like this, like these like pointless remakes was 1998 Psycho. And that's what's going to happen to this How to Train Your Dragon live action movie. It's going to vanish into the ether because it's a pointless remake of an animated movie. And like I said, unlike the Aladdin, quote unquote, unlike the Aladdin live action remake, unlike the Lion King, quote unquote, live action remake, this looks to be a shot for shot remake of the 2010 animated movie. It looks to be, and again, I keep maintaining this because all that's out now is the trailer, but it looks like that the only difference between this live action remake of How to Train Your Dragon and the 2010 animated movie is that the 2010 movie is 100% CGI animation, while the 2025 movie is going to be like 90% CGI animation with live action actors. And that's it. So before you keep going on and on and on and on about race swapping Astrid and casting Nico Parker, the daughter of Thandie Newton, just ask yourself this question. Does the race swapping, if we remove that's a bad way to put it. Let me put it another way. If we remove the race swapping of Astrid, does it elevate the movie or the show? Okay, let's ignore the race swapping of Astrid for just 1 sec. Let's forget that Nico Parker's playing Astrid. You're still not getting around the fact that it's a live action remake of a 2010 movie, and the trailer is conveying that it's probably going to be a shot for shot remake. What part of how does race swapping Astrid change that aspect of the movie? This reminds me of the Doctor Who 60th anniversary specials, and everyone and their mother was going on and on and on and on and on and on and on about the race swapping of Sir Isaac Newton in the episode Wild Blue Yonder. So let's examine the episode. Let's examine the race swap Sir Isaac Newton in Wild Blue Yonder again. Let's do the exact same thing. When we ignored the race swap of Astrid in the live-action How to Train Your Dragon movie, and how that still doesn't change that this movie looks to be a shot-for-shot remake of the 2010 movie, let's remove race swap Sir Isaac Newton, and let's remove all of the meta references that the Doctor might be gay from the episode Wild Blue Yonder. And what are we left with? Wild Blue Yonder is still a pointless filler episode of Doctor Who at best, even without that shit. Removing the race swap Sir Isaac Newton and all the meta references that the Doctor might be gay does not elevate the episode any further because it's still pointless filler at best. So again, if all you're gonna focus on with the live action How to Train Your Dragon movie failed because they race swapped Astrid from a white actress to a black actress, that's not the primary thing. That's not the primary issue with the live action How to Train Your Dragon. The primary issue is that it is a live action remake of an animated movie from 2010, and it looks to be a shot for shot remake. Tell me, how does the race swapping of Astrid elevate that? Seriously, this is why I know I've just got a video longer than need to go. So I'm going to just end off with this. Pick your damn battles and just realize that, okay, yes, they're race swapping characters, but does the race swap, is that the only issue with the movie when you actually examine? It's like, you know what? This movie is still a pointless sequel, even without the race swapping. This movie is still a pointless remake, even without the race swapping. And in the case of How to Train Your Dragon, it's still a pointless live action remake of a 2010 animated movie that looks to be shot for shot.